This is a reflection of my growth so far as I complete my first course of my Professional Masters of Education, PME 801 Collaborative Inquiry. I started this course with a pretty closed mindset towards collaborative inquiry, and while I thought that collaborative inquiry was of course important and valuable, but I couldn't see past all of the roadblocks. I couldn't imagine how overworked and tired teachers would volunteer to take on an extra project, especially when we know that things like release time and support for CI is so difficult to come by. I used to be bothered by these roadblocks, whereas now I'm inspired by them. One of the biggest things that I've discovered from this course that will assist with that problem is the variety of digital collaborative inquiry tools that are available to us. I was introduced to platforms like Coggle, Mindomo, Jamboard, and furthered my knowledge in Google Slides and Google Docs. I appreciate having a better understanding of these new-to-me tools and their ability to remove boundaries and barriers of communication and collaboration. One of the parts of the course that I didn't get a chance to really dig deep into, but I would really like to, was when we learned about the challenges of transliteracy. Transliteracy is the ability to construct coherent knowledge out of fragmentary information. The concept that really struck me is that web-based information has changed literacy from long form to short form, and that it is now the responsibility of the reader to produce coherence rather than the author. We read an article by Spiro on constructivism, and a few parts really jumped out at me. He said, "The world does not go in a line, and now learning media can opportunistically follow the natural, non-linear contours of the world, rather than artificially straightening those contours and then hoping the learner can independently bend them back later as needed." He also said, "A generation of children is growing up immersed in non-linear, random access environments and is thus better prepared than previous generations for this form of processing, if they are better directed to use it than they have been so far." This was a real aha moment for me in the course, and it brings me back to our job as educators, to support students to sift through information and to build coherence from small bite-sized pieces of information. It's not like when we were young and the teacher was the expert who stood at the front of the room and essentially downloaded knowledge to the students. I've learned that the power of collaborative inquiry is that the true strength of a classroom lies within the engaged minds of all of the students put together, rather than the knowledge or expertise of just one teacher.
Created using Powtoon.